It was just one word, a name, softly spoken, sometimes whispered, sometimes shouted. The same name, every single day for 3 decades. The parrot had outlived its owner. The jungle had grown wild around the old hut, yet the bird stayed, clinging to the same branch, repeating the same sound. Lena. No one knew who Lena was anymore. The house was abandoned. The people had moved, but the parrot remembered. Through storms, silence, and solitude, it kept calling, and the forest listened. When travelers passed through the area, they'd hear it. A voice not human, but eerily clear. Some said it was a spirit. Others thought it was a ghost. But those who followed the voice found something deeper. Mystery rooted in memory, loyalty, and a bond that didn't die. Locals recalled an old healer who once lived there. A woman who treated wounds with leaves and spoke gently to birds. Her companion was that parrot. He said she saved lives, calmed fears, and whispered stories to the trees and the bird. It only ever said one name, Lena. When she died, the villagers buried her near the stream. Her home crumbled. But the parrot stayed perched on the same roof beam, eating from the same tree. And every morning, Lena, as if waiting for her to answer. Scientists call it mimicry. They say parrots don't feel what we do, they just repeat what they hear. But no one taught the parrot to say the name after she was gone. No one remained to train it. It simply remembered. Animals aren't machines. Sometimes they carry memories like we carry grief. That parrot wasn't just repeating, it was holding on to something. Love, perhaps, maybe longing, maybe both. In many tribes, birds are seen as messengers, bridges between worlds. And in this case, the parrot became a living memory. A reminder that some names aren't forgotten by time, even when people are. Decades passed, tourists came, some took photos. A few tried to capture the bird, but it always returned to the same branch, to the same sound. The forest changed, but one thing didn't. That voice. Then one season, the voice fell silent. The parrot was never seen again. The branch now sways empty. But the story remains. The legend of a bird who called out for 30 years, not for food, not for attention, but for someone it loved. And maybe that's the real message, that some bonds are deeper than we understand. That memory isn't just human, that even in silence, something eternal speaks. If this story stirred something in your heart, if it reminded you of something or someone you've lost, subscribe to The Forgotten Path, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Because some stories deserve to be remembered, just like the name that echoed for 30 years. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us in creating more, consider making a donation. Your support helps bring these unique tales to life and keep our storytelling journey. Every contribution is deeply appreciated and goes a long way in supporting our work. So if you can, please donate what you can. And thank you for being part of our story. Now, let's delve into another captivating tale that will transport you to a realm of magic and adventure. Our next story, The Boy Who Befriended Dragons, is sure to leave you spellbound. Join us and discover the enchanting world where dragons soar through the skies and a young boy's bravery knows no bounds. So click on the link below to embark on this thrilling adventure. Don't miss out on this epic journey filled with wonder and excitement. Start reading now and let your imagination run wild. I'm sure you've heard stories about parrots, right? Those colorful, talkative birds that can mimic human speech. But have you ever heard of a parrot that repeated the same name for 30 straight years? Well, today I'll tell you about one such parrot. It all started with an old woman who lived in a small hut in the middle of the jungle. She was a healer, a kind and gentle soul who used herbs and natural remedies to cure the sick and help the wounded. The villagers loved her and often sought her help whenever they fell ill or needed guidance. She was respected by all. But the old woman wasn't alone. She had a companion, a parrot that accompanied her everywhere. The parrot was big, green, and had bright red feathers on its tail. It was a beautiful bird, but what made it special was its ability to mimic human speech and its uncanny knack for repeating the name Lena over and over again. Now at first, this might seem strange, right? Why would a parrot spend its days just repeating one name? But trust me, there's more to the story than meets the eye. You see, Lena was the old woman's daughter. She had passed away many years ago, but the parrot, it seemed to remember. Every morning, as the sun rose, the parrot would wake up and start calling out Lena, its voice echoing through the trees. And every time it did, the old woman's heart would ache with a deep and longing sadness. It wasn't a mournful sound, though. It was a hint of hope in the parrot's voice, as if it were searching for its beloved master. And as the years went by, the old woman found solace in the parrot's unwavering devotion. One day, however, the old woman fell ill. She knew it was the end for her. She called the parrot close and whispered, "My time has come, my dear friend. When I am gone, please take care of the hut and the garden." The parrot, as if understanding her words, nuzzled her hand and let out a soft Lena. When the old woman passed away, the parrot stayed in the hut, refusing to leave. It slept in her bed, ate from her bowl, and spent its days sitting on her windowsill, calling out Lena to the world. The villagers were heartbroken when they heard the news. They had loved the old woman and respected her wisdom. They couldn't help but feel a sense of loss when they saw the parrot mourning its beloved mistress. Some suggested that they should catch the parrot and find it a new home, but others argued that it was too attached to the hut and wouldn't survive elsewhere. And so they decided to leave the parrot be, hoping that it would eventually move on. But the parrot didn't move on. It stayed in the hut for 30 long years, its voice echoing through the trees, calling out Lena. The villagers grew accustomed to the sound, and eventually it became a part of their lives. Some said it was a ghost, others said it was a curse. But the truth was something far more touching. It was simply a parrot's unwavering love for its mistress. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Why would a parrot love its mistress more than its own life? Well, here's the thing. Animals don't understand the concept of life and death the way we do. For them, death is simply the absence of their loved ones. And so the parrot continued to call out Lena, hoping that one day she would return. It may seem silly to us, but to the parrot, it was a matter of life and death. And so it continued to call out Lena for 30 long years, its voice echoing through the trees. Now, some people may have found the parrot's behavior strange or even annoying, but I think it's a beautiful testament to the power of love and the bond between animals and their humans. So the next time you hear a parrot squawking in a zoo or mimicking sounds, remember the story of the old woman and her parrot and the love they shared. And also remember that even in death, love continues to live on. Well, that's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified when we post new stories. You can also give us a thumbs up if you like our content. If you want to support us, you can make a donation through the provided means. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.